Hi friends, it's Belinda here from Be Making Joy, and welcome to my channel. This is episode 17 of What Brings Me Joy, a mostly knitting podcast brought to you from my home here in Calgary, Alberta, Canada, where I show you what's been bringing me joy the past 2 weeks, and I hope it inspires you too. Today is Monday, October the 2nd. I've started recording early this week because we're driving to Edmonton tomorrow to help out our daughter. But I still expect that it will be Wednesday before I get this edited and uploaded. So, happy WIP Wednesday. Today I have 2 finished objects to show you and a little progress on a few other WIPs. And I have my swatch done for the Stephen West Mystery Knit-Along. So, let's start with what I'm wearing. I finished the Staycation Shawl by Caroline Summerfield. I use sock needle yarn from Ancient Arts Yarns here in Calgary. This is a colorway kit that they put together for the pattern. Staycation Shawl by Caroline Summerfield. We did a knit along this summer, the latter half of this summer. And I love it. My main color here is Irish Linen, and my color pops are Purple Sequins. I've told you all this before. Glimpses of Notre Dame, Amethyst, Midnight Clear, and Boldly Gold. I really love how that border turned out at the end and how all those colors blended together. Now the only modification I made to the pattern is instead of putting baubles in this tulip section, I added buttons. Bees and butterflies, buttons I've had in my stash, probably from the dollar store years back. And my little ladybug, my favorite there is the little ladybug, given to us in our knitting group by our dear friend. What else is there to tell you about this? It uses a US 4 3.5 millimeter needle, although I had to go up to a 4.5 millimeter needle to get gauge. I'm a tighter knitter. Gauge is actually important in this case because her yard adjustments are pretty close. From the 2 skeins of the main color, this is all I have left. I have a more generous supply of leftovers of my color pops, probably because I didn't do the baubles. Patterns available on Ravelry. I'll link it in the description box below. It's a nice squishy fingering weight, lovely drape. Because my butterfly buttons are wooden, I can't soak it when it comes time to wash it. So what I did is I spread it out on the blocking mats with blocking wires, stretched it out to open up those stitches, and then sprayed it with warm water. I had little domes that I covered the butterflies with so that they wouldn't get wet. Little plastic domes that came from my husband's Arrow Garden kit were just the right size to protect those butterflies because they're wooden. What else to say? I can't quite figure out how to wear it though, so that the tulips are not upside down. Yeah, love it. Finished object number 2 is a WIP that was in timeout for a while. The one that I have been knitting in secret, hiding from my daughter. And for some reason I stopped working on it. Probably because she was always around. Probably because it was hiding, out of sight, out of mind. Anyway, Mr. Fox is finished. I don't like him. While I was assembling it, my husband thought he looked like a squirrel. Now that he's done, I think he looks like a rat. But here's what he's supposed to look like. Amadeus the Fox. You knit him flat, and then you assemble him. This is in a book by Nikki Epstein. Knit a square, make a toy, right? Knit a square, create a cuddly creature, it's called. I bought this book on Amazon. So yeah, there's what he's supposed to look like. Here's how he turned out. I struggled with sewing it up. You know, it's finicky when you're stitching a cast off edge to a side edge, especially when you can't lie it flat and half the edge is folded one way and the other half is folded the other way. It was difficult to keep them still while I sewed on them. And I couldn't get these ears to stay pointy, so I think he looks like a rat instead of a fox. And the yarn kept splitting, so that makes it hard to undo your mistake to fix. And when stuffing, the knit stitches want to spread out. And the pattern says to stuff firmly, but the more you stuff, the more the stitches spread. Especially for the tail. It was becoming this big blob of brown with white poking through, the white stuffing poking through. So in the end, I decided not to stuff the tail. I should maybe put a wire in it so it could stand up. Would that look more like a fox? I don't know. My daughter hasn't seen it yet. We'll see how she reacts. I think maybe if it was a fingering weight yarn, it might have been better. It would have stuffed better. But, yeah. But then it would have been a smaller object and maybe even harder to sew, more finicky. I don't know. So he's done. We'll see what my daughter thinks. And the cat that I was making as a decoy, so that if she walked in while I was knitting the fox, I could quickly hide him and pick up this. I don't think I'm going to finish this cat. I'm not feeling it. So we're going to call that done, cross it off the WIP list. So now I think that brings my WIP count down to 10. I'm going to check that out. Where's my list? Where's my list? This is the joy of crossing things off. Where's my pen? So we've crossed off the knit a square and we've crossed off the Staycation Shawl. That brings me down to 10. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yep. So I made a little bit of progress on a few of those. I'll show you. Let's see. Another project that I pulled out to work on again are my flowers. Because, you know, I'm eagerly awaiting the Stephen West Mystery Knit Along. So I'm pushing around with trying to finish up some small things. So I started working on some more of the flowers. And, oh, just a second. Okay, here's what the finished flower looks like. And here's several more petals I've done for another one. This is a pattern by Jordan Chulst of Double N Knits. I'll link below. I was a test knitter when she wrote the pattern a while back, and my daughter and I have made quite a few of them together. I do the knitting, she does the assembly. We got them attached to a skewer and wrapped in yarn. My daughter does a lovely job of wrapping it with yarn and glue. The pattern itself suggests wrapping it in floral tape. Yeah, so you last saw these in episode 6 when I showed you this yarn that I was going to continue making more flowers with. This yarn is by Ginger Snap That here in Calgary in a fingering weight wool nylon blend from her rock and roll themed mystery pack last December. This color is called Satisfaction by the Rolling Stones. And the other yarn that I've been using here is a commercial yarn, a DK weight Cotton Fair by Premier Yarns out of the US. I'm using a 3.25 millimeter needle for them. So as you can see, the different weights of yarns are doing a different gauge. But that's okay if the flowers are not the same size, right? So I've got a bunch here ready for my daughter to assemble. A few more petals to make. And I have a friend who has just moved into a new place, so this is going to be a housewarming gift. So that's still a WIP. Yeah. I'll be right back. Okay, another project that I've made a lot of progress on is my sock. This is my purse knitting project now. I had a couple of outings where I got to work on it. I did some at intermission during the musical Ain't Too Proud, which was the story of the Temptations and how they got their start. It was really fun. So I only worked on it during intermission. I don't want to be a distraction during the show. And I also worked on it some at the hockey game, the Calgary Flames hockey game. The season started up again. My husband and I go now and again, and he lets me knit. So that's for that. The sock, the first sock number 1 was finished last episode. Well, not finished because I still need to do the heel. I'm going to measure, cut into it, put the stitches back on a needle, and knit the heel. It's called an afterthought heel. And I'm going to link for you the Crazy Sock Lady and Nitty Natty. Both have excellent videos on that method of making afterthought heels. I've watched the videos. I have not tried it yet, but I am very sure it will work. Anyway, this yarn is a Patton's Croix sock yarn in the self-striping colorway Coastal Stripes. And I'm working toe up. And 2.75 millimeter needles. I'm still on my magic loop method because I'm familiar and fast with it. I haven't tried my new Addy Flexi Flips yet. Are they Addy? I don't know what brand they were. Anyway, my new Flexi Flips I bought last month. I haven't tried yet. Anyway, so those are going back into my purse. My husband and I are going to another hockey game tonight, so that's where that's going. And another project, I've added another stripe of color to my Pokémon Cloak. I'm still only partway through a row, so I can't really show it very clearly. This is the cloak I'm designing for my daughter out of the Pokemon yarn themed mystery yarn calendar for the month of July from Fangirl Fibers. I've got 10 colors so far, so 21 more to go. I still haven't bought the colors for the trim, the button band, and the hood yet. But that's where we're at. I am amused with how these two colors are working up. This color has the same colors in it as the previous color, but in different quantities. So while the stripes are distinctive, they are still blending together in some spots. So my daughter and I are amused by that. But it's beautiful. It's still coming out lovely. Yeah, there's a spot where it's really blended. Nonetheless, we're enjoying it. But it's plain stockinette stitches, 400 and something stitches per round. It's taken a while. You will definitely see more of that for quite some time yet. Now, I'm eager to show you my swatch for the Stephen West Mystery Long, but first, one more project that I have done some work on is my Elana Seafoam skirt. There's the waist. It's knit waist down. I'm still in the stockinette stitch section, so working a little bit at a time as we go, as I come across it. But it will get a lot more progress in the next couple of days, because we're driving to Edmonton to look after our daughter. As I said, she's getting her wisdom teeth removed, so, and she's a redhead, and they say things about redheads and anesthesia and redheads in pain, so we're going to go up and look after her. We're heading up tomorrow, hence why I'm recording early. We're hoping to come back on Thursday, but we'll play it by ear. Anyway, this project's going with me. And I'm pretty close, I think, to starting the Seafoam stitch pattern part of it. And I'm still on track to release this pattern on October the 16th. And I think I'm on track to finish the sample in time. DK weight yarn. I'm using Nettle Soft DK from Ancient Arts in the color Amethyst. I'm using, I think it was a 4mm needle. My notes are not in front of me. Yeah, I believe it's a 4mm. I can't see enough to read on the... Anyway, that's where that stands, and it's coming to Edmonton with us. And the Stephen West Mystery Long, all my supplies for the MKAL are coming with me because the first clue comes out on Thursday. I wonder what time on Thursday. He's in Amsterdam, so will it be like midnight his time? I don't know, but we're looking forward to it. So I've got my needle ready. I've done my swatch. Here's the swatch. This one. So I was a little concerned about if there's enough contrast between color 1 and color 2, but I think in certain lights it is. I'm not sure, but you know what, I'm gonna go with it anyway because I love these purple colors. I'm eager to start using them. I have not come up with a single other idea of what to do with this set, so we're gonna go for it and we will see how it works out. The Stephen West MKAL, if you're not familiar, MKAL means mystery knit along, and Stephen West out of Amsterdam, I've been following him for a number of years, but this will be the first time making one of his patterns. So he, every October for the last, 13, 14 years, has been doing a mystery shawl. And he releases a part of the pattern every Thursday throughout the month of October. So it starts in a couple of days. I'm getting excited. It'll be my first time. Yay. The yarns I've chosen, there's a set, these 3 solid purples are from a set called Purple Carrots. This dark one and these 2 light ones. Purple Carrots by Julie Osselin. Where's the label? Based out of Sherbrooke, Quebec, Canada. A hand dyer. So it's fingering weight yarn. The composition of this yarn is 75% merino, 15% cashmere, and 10% silk. And then the 4th color that I've chosen to go with them is by Numana Yarns out of Edmonton. And this is her colorway specially designed for a naming contest for the Gathering Threads Festival in Edmonton back in May. And I bought this yarn at the festival before the name was decided on, before the contest ended. So I don't know what the name actually is. But it's the Gathering Threads Festival in May. So, yeah. And its composition is 70% merino, 20% yak, and 10% silk. So they feel so lovely. They both feel so lovely. And I've got such nice drape. I think that's going to make a wonderful shawl. Really eager to see how it's going to turn out, what it's going to look like. Stephen West's patterns his shawls are large, very intricate, with many different sections of many different stitches. So I'm really looking forward to this. Really am. Oh, so much, so much, so much. So packing that to take with me. I need to go back to the MKAL page to see what other supplies I need to pack. I'm sure I need a lot of stitch markers as it gets bigger. And anyway, now I want to tell you about a giveaway that I'm planning. The prize will be the October color of the month from Ancient Arts Yarns. We haven't been shown that color yet, at least not as of this morning. I hadn't seen it. But whatever it is, I will be giving this game to one of my viewers. And oh, I forgot to tell you that I won a prize from that Staycation Shawl knit along. She drew a name out of the people who posted pictures in the Facebook group or in the Ravelry group. And so they gave me a $50 gift certificate. So I've decided to use that to purchase a second skein of the October color of the month to give to one of my viewers. And also Canada Post is offering shipping discounts to small businesses for the month of October. So what better time to send someone a gift? So to enter, please make a comment on this video below. And please tell me what is bringing you joy this week. And I will draw. I'll give you 2 weeks. I'll draw in 2 weeks. And then I'll ask you to contact me. And then I will ship it out. Hopefully we have that all done by the end of October. We'll see how this works. This is my first time doing this. So, now since the MKAL is my only plan for October, instead of a regular episode in 2 weeks, I will give you a shorter episode every Wednesday throughout October to show you my weekly progress on the shawl. Since he releases the clue on Thursday, we'll see how much I get done by Wednesday, ready for the next clue on the next Thursday. Wish me luck! Yeah. So until next time, please like, share, subscribe, and all that stuff. Thank you for joining me. Happy knitting, happy crocheting, happy sewing, woodworking, drawing, whatever it is that you do, go find some joy.